Hello, good morning, my friends. It's day 11. Welcome back. It's Monday, the 14th. We're on day 11 of our 40 Days of Lent readings, and today we're in Matthew chapter 23, one of the longer readings in our series today is the whole chapter of Matthew 23, and it all goes together. And if you've read it by now, and if you haven't, pause now and go read it. If you've read it by now, you know this is kind of a difficult chapter. Jesus has some hard words, some difficult sayings to the people that are listening to him. How do you summarize this whole thing? The heading in my Bible says 7 woes. Woe meaning sorrow, warning, grief over something bad that's going to happen. And they're directed at a particular group of people. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites. Jesus is calling out this particular group of people, warning them against their pride, their hypocrisy, warning them against all the dangers of being a little too spiritually proud. And this is his warning, this whole chapter, against pride and hypocrisy. As I said, it's directed at the Pharisees and teachers of the law, but it probably is applicable to us as well. I mean, why else would Matthew record this for us, except that we need to read it because there's something that we need to learn as well. Frankly, I think there's probably a little Pharisee in us all. So what do we do with this? Well, let's put a little more positive spin on it. It's not just woes or warnings, but it's also a call to faithfulness. It's a call to be faithful in intention and in action. To be faithful in what we want to do and in how we follow through with what we want to do. And that's where Jesus faults the Pharisees. They know what's right. He says that at the beginning of the chapter. They sit in the Moses seat. You must obey them and do everything they tell you. They know what's right. They just aren't very good at following through with it. Jesus calls for faithfulness, not just in what you know to be right, but in how you live that out. To be faithful in intention and in action. The problem is it's impossible for us to achieve. We're all sinful. We all fail. We're going to mess up, even the best of us. But Jesus isn't giving us a license or an excuse. It's not a license in that, if we know we're going to fail, oh well, why bother? It's no big deal. It's not a license to fail. That's the wrong approach. And it's not an excuse, to say, well, I failed, the devil made me do it. It doesn't get us off the hook. Jesus is calling us to listen to the word carefully, to apply God's will to our lives with honesty and integrity, to live faithfully according to it, and to be humble about it, to acknowledge that we're not doing it perfectly, to acknowledge our errors, and to try better next time. To know that there's forgiveness, yes, but not to take it for granted. Because when we don't do it, when we don't follow his will, when we don't live with faithfulness, it breaks Jesus' heart. That's where the chapter ends. The chapter ends with Jesus grieving over those who are too stubborn to listen, too stubborn to change. He's not just angry, he's heartbroken. Because, believe it or not, he even loves those Pharisees. He loves even those who are out to get him. He loves even those that fail him. He even loves people like us. So read through it again, see what we need to learn. God bless you today. We'll talk again tomorrow.